In this tutorial, I am going to show you guys how I use my sky overlays, a few tips and tricks, how to apply them, and as well as how to use the action that I made for my sky overlays. So the first thing I always like to look at when I'm going to use a sky overlay is what direction the sun is coming from. And with this, you can see that she has a shadow coming from, well, going towards the right. The sun is on the left. So I want to make sure that these align and match and is believable. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up a sky overlay and locate those. I think let's use this one down here. That looks pretty. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag that onto my image. And then we're going to go Control T. We're going to line that up. There we go. All right, and as you can see, the sunshine is coming from the left, so I'm happy with the direction it's in. And what I'm going to show you guys here is, all right, let me click on that background image. So with this one, what's really nice is the foreground or background and sky have a very distinct difference here, a contrast. And what's nice about that is I can use my selection tool. So I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to kind of click and drag and see it already grabbed basically the sky there. And then what you can do is you can right click and we're going to select feather. Let's feather by 5 pixels. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do Control Copy, Control Paste, and you'll see that that sky layer over there has popped up over here. And from there, what we can do is I'm going to turn the sky layer back on, and we can go Control Alt Click, and then when you see that little arrow pop up with the square, we're going to click again, and that creates a layer mask. Now, if that was too confusing for you, I know it was when I first started out. I was like, what? You can just click on the sky layer, right click, and I'm going to have you click Create Clipping Mask. And that does the same thing. So the other way is just a little shortcut. Once you get it down, it's nice and handy. All right, so from here, what we can do is we can go ahead and play our sky action. So here it is, play sky action. And that's going to go ahead. All right, so what these layers are here, you can see that if I unclick and click, it shows you just them rotated. Obviously, these rotated ones aren't going to work. This is not a horizontal image. Sometimes those will work, not always. So we have two options here. We have this way or this way. And obviously we want to keep the sun coming from the left. So I like this one better. I'm going to go ahead and delete that layer and just get it out of the way. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my move tool and just kind of play with where I like that at. All right, now you can see that there's a very distinct kind of line here. It doesn't blend super well. And so what we're going to want to do is this one, I'm going to go ahead and just add a little blur. So make sure that this layer is selected. We're going to go Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and then you can kind of adjust and see how much to do. And I just kind of play with that. Obviously, if there's not a lot of detail in your mountains, the sky is even farther away, so you want less detail in your sky, but you don't want to blur too much. So let's try that. And then I'm going to go ahead over here and I'm going to select the layer mask. And then what I like to do is actually what you can try first is to grab your gradient tool. So that's right here, and then make sure linear gradient is selected and you have a black selected on top here, and you can click and drag and see how that just created a little bit more of a graduation in the sky there. And you can kind of keep playing with that. The longer you hold down and drag up, the more soft the transition is going to be. The shorter, the less the transition. So you can kind of see the differences there. So that's kind of a fun way, and you can kind of come from the left to the right too, and just kind of keep playing with it until you figure out where it is you like it. So for me, I think we're going to go about there. It looks nice. Now, I still like to go in with my brush selected at, let's bring this down to 20% opacity. Make sure it's nice, big, and soft. I'm going to make sure my layer mask is clicked on. And I'm just going to kind of tap a little bit along the horizon line here. Just a little. And then if you do too much, you can always select the white again and bring some back in. So there, that looks pretty good. Now, if there are some adjustments you do want to make to your sky, what you can do is you can come on over here to this layer that says adjust levels for sky. So we're going to click that open. And so this one brightens, this one darkens, this one adds contrast, less contrast, add saturation, add blue, add red, add magenta, add yellow. So the one thing to keep in mind with these layers is it is applied to your entire image. So again, what you'll probably want to grab is your gradient tool and do the same thing that you did with the layer mask down here. So like, let's say I wanted to, let's add some contrast, or let's see, what do I like in here? Let's add some red. That's kind of pretty. Okay, so obviously I don't want to put any red on her. You can if you want to warm her up and you like it, and you could just mask off certain areas too with a brush, but let's try the gradient. Oh, and we are going the wrong way. See, I didn't have the black on top. Let's switch that around. There we go. So you can see, just add a little bit of warmth there, which is really nice. So those are kind of fun to play with and see what effects you like the most. And they're a lot of fun to play with. So you guys feel free to experiment and try all different kinds. Let me show you what you get with my collection. So there's 3 different sets. We have our sunset collection. Lots of beautiful options in there. We have the cloudy and stormy set. And then we have the blue midday sunset. So this is really great that they're all kind of sorted for you. So when you already know the mood of your image or what time of day is, you can just go right into that file. And all 3 of these collections are included in the sky overlays, which is awesome. So you don't have to buy individual sets. And if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me and follow me on my Instagram, www.instagram.com/Ginny Haupert, @Ginny Haupert. You can also find me on Facebook, Ginny Haupert Mentoring, Ginny Haupert Photography. And I hope you guys have a ton of fun with these. Thanks for watching.